And now, ladies and gentlemen, Klezmer tune.
What's Klezmer?
I haven't the faintest idea.
What is Klezmer? It's a music that manages to mean many things to many people.
I always think of it as Jewish jazz in terms of expression and what it evokes.
I would define it as joy with the tears. It was reflected in the prayers also. Everyday prayers about Jerusalem, about impossibility to come back to their homeland. And every day Jews were praying and crying. So this cry was reflected in the prayers, in the singing.
In many synagogues, prayers are sung rather than spoken in order to give them emotional impact. The person who sings them is called a cantor.
So our destiny, everything is fine, but oy vey. To play klezmer, you have to understand this. They were in the community, but also not in the community. They weren't like a proper Jew who has to follow all the traditions. When you gypsy life, you are a little bit different. You not follow all the rules. When you play, you have to be creative. When you're creative, you break the rules. Weddings were was the main place where klezmer musicians could play and earn some money.
Weddings brought whole communities together for a good time, and for this, a band was fundamental.
When the groom says, I will remember the Jerusalem, and he breaks the glass. They have to dance, you have no choice. You have to stand up and dance, otherwise you're not Jew. You have to be happy. It's mitzvah. It's a good thing to say, mitzvah, to do. It's mitzvah to dance and mitzvah to be happy at the wedding. And sometimes they were asked to play something Jewish. Can you play for us something Jewish? To laugh. It sounds so interesting, so funny. It's not ours, but they were asked to play. And when they asked to play, you have to pay. Even nowadays, when you come to a Russian restaurant, and if you request a song, you have to give some money. I play in a Russian restaurant, and this tradition, they don't understand. British people, when they come to a Russian restaurant, they just request. But we, as musicians, we say, no, you have to put some money. And this tradition actually develops the musician, encourages the musician to know more songs.
The Klezmorim often played with another outcast group, the Gypsies. In fact, under Russian law, Jews and Gypsies were the only two groups permitted to be professional musicians outside an orchestra. And both sets of musicians were catalysts for change.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Klezmer tune. Happy Nigun, come on.
Once a month, Oleg Lapidus plays a mixture of klezmer and old-time favourites to the residents of a Jewish care home. In true klezmorim fashion, he has a good memory and a large repertoire.
He would play music to everybody's requirement because he is very versatile. He knows a lot of different. And in a home like that, you've got all different people, which is different culture, different food, everything is different. We cater for them, so I know what it is. So, and he caters for their wishes of music. You saw that lady who does that. She is just one of the examples. She just sees the music and she can't walk. She can hardly sit and she can hardly talk now because she deteriorates a lot. But when that music goes, she goes, her shoulders move and she is dancing actually.
I don't normally play sad tunes there. I think for them it's better to wake up, to give some good emotions. This is the music of their childhood, of something in their blood.
That lady who held his hand, her father was the cantor in the synagogue. I think it was Berlin. It was either Berlin or Hamburg. Just before the war, he was the head cantor there. So she knows all the tunes. So to her, the klezmer brings it all back to her, and she's completely Alzheimer's. She doesn't remember what she had 5 minutes ago. She can ask you twice, why didn't you give me breakfast? When she just finished it, actually. But she remembers all the tune, and she sings it. This she remembers. That's why it was so important for her, this klezmer.
Klezmer gives this engine, this edge, this something what makes it live. You can mix klezmer music with everything, and if you put a drop, even one drop of klezmer, it starts live.
Do you need to be Jewish to play klezmer? Do you need to be black to play the blues? Do you need to be large and Italian to sing opera? I mean, all these things are just obviously not true. And what's interesting is when all kinds of people start playing each other's music, and it's good for everybody. It's kind of, everyone feels respect for each other's music, and that's actually the way music develops.
Ik ben geboren in de stad die is gebouwd op palen. En je voelt de vision, yo, ik moet nog even halen. 1, 2, 3, 4, join the marching jobless corps. No work in the factories, no more manufacturing. All the tools are broken, rusted, every wheel and window busted. Through the city streets we go, idle as a CEO.